Hello and welcome to another video from oorail. In this video we're going to be taking a look at ID Backscenes premium backscene products. These are basically printed on a water, scratch and tear resistant polypropylene, and the ones we're looking at are going to be the 15-inch high 00 scale version. And each of these packs basically comes with two sections. You can see I have one section temporarily blue tacked to the wall over there, and each section is about 1.5 meters or about 5 foot in length, and it's, like I said, it's about 15 inches tall, or about 38 centimeters tall. And basically they're printed out on this polypropylene, and they come rolled up, and you get these kind of nice roll that comes in the mail with the product information on it, a little barcode, and kind of picture of what you're getting. As far as I can ascertain, the top one is the one that goes on the left, and the bottom one is the one that goes on the right. Now this particular one here, like I said, these are their premium range, so they come with the self-adhesive backing. It's not much price difference between the premium range and the non-premium range, so personally I think it's just better to go with this and spend the extra couple of pounds or extra dollars, mainly because this is something that you're just going to put up once, and you're probably not going to take it down again, so you might as well put a little bit of investment into it. Especially when you're talking the price difference is maybe, $8 or $9 at most. Anyway, so I got these from, I think it was AJM Railways in the UK. They're the kind of distributor for the United States and so on, and they're international distributors. So I purchased 2 sets from them. So this first one is Into the Town. It's Pack C, and the product code is 106, so it's 106C. Now this is actually part of a much larger scene. I think it comes in parts A, B, C, and D. And the reason I only bought part C was that on the back of the wall there, where it's currently tacked up in the corner, that's actually the corner of the wall. So there's another wall that goes this way, and I wanted to use a different back scene here. And I'm going to have some sort of hillside or scenic break here that's going to break the two scenes up. So the corner there and getting that right isn't a big deal. I did think about trying to put in some woodwork or something like that to kind of curve it, but I opted against that. It was a little bit extra work. I think it would work looking at where the back scene is now. It would be hard to tell, and it might actually look kind of cool if it was curved. But I'm going to go with my original plan, I think, and just use the corners. Now, like I said, it comes in 2 sections, and it unrolls pretty easily. I have a rolled up version here that you can see. You can see it kind of has, this has still got the self-adhesive backing on it, and you can see it's kind of got this kind of plastic film on the back. It's printed. I think it's not too bad. I wouldn't try to abuse it or anything like that. I think you have to treat it very, very carefully, like it's a piece of artwork or something like that, just so you don't damage it. But it's relatively straightforward to put up. So what you will notice is that there is a, open it up here slightly. This is how it comes in the roll, by the way. You can see there that there's a border, a white border. Now what they recommend you do is test fit it first, and then cut the white border out on the ends. You don't necessarily need to cut the white border out on the top or the bottom. So what I did, just to kind of get an idea of what it might look like, is I've used some blue tack. So everybody's probably familiar with that. Took 2 small pieces and broke them into 2. It's giving me 4 pieces for the 4 corners. And I didn't take off any of the backing or anything like that. I just simply stuck it in that far corner there, and first got it right to the corner, and then I unrolled it, and then just put 2 pieces of blue tack in either corner there as well, and that gave me an idea of how it would look. You also want to make sure that you have the right height, whether you need to drop it behind the baseboard a little bit if it looks like it's too close or too large, with the depending on how close the railway is to the actual back scene. Now I'm actually there's enough room there between the track and the wall that I'm gonna go and put some scenic elements between the track and the wall, so I'm not too concerned about that white border along the bottom. That's going to be hidden with some scenic elements, so I don't need to worry about that. I did think about trying to drop it down below the baseboard like Dave Class 47 has done, but I don't think I need to do that, and basically the way the baseboard's built, there's no room to actually do that, so I'd have to take the baseboards out, which is like a huge task. So I'm just going to leave it the way it is and kind of test fit it. So while I'm on talking about this, I do want to give a shout out to Dave over at Dean Park Station. His YouTube handle, I think, is Dave Class 47, and he has a fantastic channel. If you've not subscribed or not checked out his channel, you should go check it out. He's a brilliant layout going on there. He actually has these ID Backscenes. That's where I saw them first, and he did such a fantastic job with them and got the kind of look that I was after as well. In this latest kind of update, I decided that I would go ahead and do something similar. So it's his fault that I went ahead and ordered these things. But thanks, Dave. Your video is fantastic, so it gave me some good ideas. So what we're going to do today is I've test fitted this one, so I'm quite happy that it looks okay. I've run some trains on the front of it to make sure that perspective wise it doesn't look kind of silly or anything like that. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to go and take a X-Acto knife, and I'm going to basically test cut the one corner here. So I need to cut these borders out in order to seamlessly stitch this image to the next one. So I'm gonna have to cut this border out and the border out on the far side as well as cutting the borders out on the other rule. So I'm going to go and test it on this particular corner, because if I mess this one up, it doesn't really matter because this is going to be hidden behind some scenery anyway, so all you're going to do is see the clouds maybe. So I have some kind of margin of error cutting this border out first. So I'm going to cut this border out first, and then I'm going to go cut this border out, and then I'm going to do, like I said, do the same thing on the other side. Now what I'm doing is a little trickier than what Dave was doing. Dave, I think, bought a couple of different packs, put them on kind of a gloss type finish that he painted. I'm actually sticking them straight on the wall. Luckily for me, that kind of gloss paint is already on the wall, and it's white. So I lucked out there, so these will stick directly to it without any problems. However, rather than going with into the town the whole way down that side of the layout, because where that factory is in the kind of urban area with the little town scene, it didn't really seem to fit properly. You know, it still seemed way too rural for what I had set up in a kind of a more urban environment in that part of the layout. So what I wanted to do was basically transition from the kind of countryside scenery that's going to be on this section of the wall into a slightly more suburban type environment, and then eventually have it build up into a more urban kind of environment. So what I did was I picked pack 106C because it basically had that kind of look that you're kind of getting into the town. So you can see here on the wall, if you look here, you're starting to see there's some countryside, a couple of sporadic houses, and then kind of something that looks like a housing estate. In the next one that I have rolled up, so I can show you here, you can see that it goes into a more kind of built up type area, and then out on the corner here you can see it's starting to look like it's more of a kind of a heavily populated sort of suburban area. So what I'm going to do, and this is where I said I had a slightly more difficult time, is I'm actually going to try to scenically connect this back scene with the back scene that I wanted by the factory, which is the terraced backs, which is 401, and this is 10 feet of this kind of a terraced back housing, and sorry about the phone there going off in the background, but basically where the factory is, I already have some of these low relief houses. So what I wanted to do was kind of make it look like that, you know, there was a row of houses, or small row of houses in the factory in front of these, and it was kind of a housing estate type deal. So I've got these which are going to go onto the wall next to that, and then I'm going to have to figure out kind of a clever way to do a scenic break between the two, but hopefully it'll work out. The only real issue that I see are these cloud pattern is a little less kind of overcast on the edge here than the other edge, so it may look funny. I'm not quite sure yet. I think if it does look funny, I already have where I'm going to do the break between the two sets of back scenes. I already have a sort of elevated section, so I think I can get away with putting in some buildings on a hilltop or something like that if I really had to. But I'm hoping I can make it work, and we'll see how that goes. Now, once this works and I'm happy with it, I'm going to take the blue tack off, and I'm going to basically start applying it to the wall. So I'm going to apply it to the wall section by section, starting here and working my way back until I get to the terraced house section. So in this video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to cut the borders off at least one set of these, and then I'm going to show you how to hopefully kind of stitch the image together, and then we'll show you the end result on the layout, and then we'll also do a bit of a layout update in a few days. But hopefully this will work out pretty well, and once, like I said, once this is in, next week I think I'm going to order the ones to go on the other wall, and then we'll have all the back scenes finished, and it'll look pretty good. Alright, so I'm going to go get things sorted out and a place cleared off to actually start cutting this. Now, I think what I'm going to do, I haven't tried this yet, but I think it seems to be the smartest way to do it, is I'm actually going to use some blue tack, and blue tack the rolled up edge. So I'm going to basically unroll this slightly, like so, and I'm going to blue tack it where the white parts are on either corner, and then I'm going to use the X-Acto knife and a straight edge to cut the border out. And like I said, I'm going to test that out first on the other section, and then if that works, I'm going to go ahead and do it on the rest of them, and then I'll be able to blue tack them up, stitch the image together, get a kind of an overall feel of how it's going to look. Now, one thing I did do is I did measure this out so that I didn't have to cut the back scenes. I thought about, you know, maybe cutting them, but I decided I was going to do a large enough stretch so I didn't have to cut them. Alright, so that's basically it for this part. So I'm going to go and, like I said, get that set up, and then we'll show you how to cut it, and we'll go from there. Okay, so we're back at the layout here, and we're going to use a brand new X-Acto knife blade to go ahead and cut these edges off the ID Backscenes. So what I've done is I've taken this I think it's about 36 inch long ruler, and it's metal. I cleaned it up on both sides just to make sure there's no residual things that might dirt or whatever that might end up on the ID Backscenes backscene. So the idea is that we're going to go and take the one that's currently on the wall and blue tack it just on the corners very lightly, here and here probably, and then what I'm going to do is line this up on the edge, and when we're happy with it, we'll take the X-Acto knife, run it back and forth about once or twice, and hopefully we'll get it right. And so here goes nothing. Okay, so we've got two, as you can see, very small pieces of blue tack, and what we're going to do is just set these just inside the border. And so we'll put this one in here. So you can see like that, they're just pinned down inside the water. And what we're going to do is take the straight edge here that we know is reasonably straight, and we're going to line this up about there, and just push on the blue tack, and likewise with that, just lined up as carefully as I can. Okay, like so. So now that we have the backscene lined up like that, and we're going to go and put the straight edge here as close as we possibly can to that edge, which we appear to have done. And now what we're going to do is take, so we're 100% sure that's where it needs to be lined up. We're going to take the like so, and look at that, it's perfect. Alright, so I'm going to go do this with all of the other ones, and I'm just going to check to make sure that there's no print on the strip that's left, which is great. And there's no white left on this. So we're going to go ahead and do that with the other edge and then the other sections, and I'll blue tack it back up to the wall, and we'll show you the end result. Okay, so this is just a quick look at the completed back scene. Now keep in mind, this hasn't been glued to the wall yet. I just stuck it with blue tack, so you can see the seams a little bit because it's just three-dimensional. But all in all, it's turned out pretty well. So this first section here is into the town. It's 106C, and it's worked out pretty well. And then as I pan over here, you'll see I have transitioned from the into the town to the terraced houses. You can see here the terraced houses roll was on a slightly thicker backing material, and it was more tightly wound. It almost smelt like PVC. So it's slightly thicker, and because it was tightly wound, it's got a bit of an edge on it because of the blue tack. So because it's not glued down, it's just blue tack down, you can see the edge, but once that's glued down with the self-adhesive backing, you won't be able to see those lines at all. And if I push it, the lines go away, so I know it's just the kind of curl on the paper. Now the cool thing is that I was worried that these clouds wouldn't seamlessly gel, but they seem to seamlessly gel pretty well. Even the bottom elements gel pretty okay. Now obviously these are two different back scenes with the bottom part, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a tunnel in, probably start at about here and go to about here somewhere, and we'll use that to create kind of maybe some sort of scene into the elevated track, and the elevated track is going to go along the top as well, so maybe I can put a small village or town or maybe church on a hill type deal there, but I'll be able to put the tunnel in there that'll help us seamlessly transition. So you'll have the cloud elements on the top, but you can see there they gel pretty well. And then if I alright, it's my phone telling me about eBay auctions. If I go this way a little bit, you can see the completed thing. Again, had the same problem with the tightly wound a little bit too much, so even no matter how much blue tack I put down in between the two, because it's curled a little bit, you're gonna have that little line. But once it gets it glued down, that won't happen. And you can see there it goes pretty seamlessly well into the low relief houses. Some scale scenes, they match it pretty well, and then the factory from Wild Railway Scenery. The only issue I'm really gonna have is there used to be a wall kind of in there. Probably gonna leave that out because the back scene's pretty nice. but it's going to leave me with a bit of a challenge on how to seamlessly transition these two. I'm going to put probably the cloud backscenes from ID Backscenes down along the back of the wall, because we have that King's Road tunnel and a little town scene in the works above that. So the only tricky bit's going to be figuring out what can I put here to sort of make that scene transition a little bit better. The clouds I'm not too worried about. There's quite a good range of cloud backscenes from ID Backscenes available, so I should be able to get those to transition pretty okay. With that kind of terraced house that's just sitting there on the edge, I'll need to have some kind of wall or increase the height here or some kind of buttress or something just to hide that. Alright, so that's basically it. So if I pan back here a little bit, you can see it looks really nice. It should look great when I actually get a chance to glue it down. I'm going to leave it blue tacked up against the wall here for a few days, or for at least a day or so, just because it's so tightly wound. I think if I start to pull the backing off of it, it's going to get kind of messed up, so I'm going to let it flatten out slightly but not too much. But yeah, I'm looking forward to having that finished, and then we'll have quite a bit of scenic work. As you can imagine, that's 20 feet long from the edge of that back scene to the end. So I got a lot of foreground and sort of kind of wall and maybe some sort of other scenic elements to build, as well as the tunnel in there. So it's going to keep me busy for a while. And then we'll do a layout update at the end of October, and you can see the full effect. I will do another ID Backscenes video when I complete the whole thing. I am planning on buying some more along the back here and along the other side as well, so that's going to be at least another probably 1.5, probably 2.5 backscenes I need to buy, so I'll probably have to buy 3 more to make that fit. Now I will have a spare one, so I might use that somewhere else in the layout, or just use it as a nice back scene for the workspace that I have here for some of the how-to videos. Alright, so that's basically it for this video. So hope you enjoyed it, and I hope it might encourage some folks to have a go at the ID Backscenes. They're pretty neat, and wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be, and I was quite pleased that these actually seamlessly kind of join together pretty well, even though they're not designed to. Alright, and like I said, just a quick shout out again to Dave over at Dean Park Station for showing us this. Thanks Dave, it's definitely improved my layout as well. So, hope folks found this useful, and until next time.